Hello, everyone, and it's good to be with you. And welcome to the Wrestling Experience. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the Raw State of Address. We're going to talk about Dynamite. We're going to rewind the Night of Champions. And we're going to rewind the Forbidden Door. And we're going to rewind Dynamite. Plus, we have wrestling news. All of this and so much more here for you tonight. Tonight, on a jam packed, can't miss edition of the Wrestling Experience. You've landed on Planet Experience. You've landed on the Wrestling Experience. All right, folks, welcome back to the experience. Make sure that you hit the like button. And of course, you subscribe today. And don't forget to share out the stream. I greatly appreciate it. You know something, folks? Here's the thing. Everybody and their mother, and everybody has been talking about this. What happened this past Monday night on Raw? Very, very controversial ending to Raw on Monday night. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and my opinion on this Sami Zayn story right now, because we're going to do the raw state of address, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. What I'm about to say and what I'm about to do, I haven't done it in a vastly long time with the WWE, but I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it right now. First of all, if you all saw the viral video, when Sami Zayn won the title at the Night of Champions from Cody Rhodes in the triple threat match, did you see the way Triple H reluctantly wanted to take a picture with Sami Zayn? Evidence number one, the fix was in. Then you read the stories, the blogs about how Triple H did not believe in Sami Zayn being marketable. Then you turn the corner on Monday night. After 3 months, listen to me carefully. After 3 long months, CM Punk comes back to Rosemont, Illinois, and the Allstate Arena to swoop in to screw Sami Zayn out of the title. And some of you, not all of you, but some of you are sitting there in your seats, in your chairs, and you going bananas. William, how's it going? Much love to you too. William, how's it going? So you sit in your chairs. You sit in your chairs and everybody's taking a selfie on how you're reacting to Punk coming out of the curtain. This was absolutely ridiculous. Sami Zayn is a loyalist to the WWE. The man wrestled once. Listen to me carefully. The man wrestled once in a house show with a fever. That's how loyal this man is. Ooh, stay cool, William. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. First of all, CM Punk is not the end all to be all. The man is rude. The man can be rude at times to fans. And I've seen it on viral videos. And if you don't believe me, Google it. The man is rude. He can be rude as fuck. Mm. All right? Yeah, bro. That was BS. I'm going to tell you all something. I'm going to tell you all something right now. Why in the world? Why in the world would you put a belt on somebody who had just because he had a beef with management? You put the belt on him to appease his ego because that's what you did. That's exactly what you did. And you fans were trashing Sami Zayn after the match. You look through the curtain and you're mocking him and you're making him feel even worse. You all are disgusting. I thought that the finish was BS, and I thought what they did to Sami Zayn was BS as well. Sami Zayn was your main event, a tag team match, main event with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. How could you say he's not marketable? How could you say that when he was in the main event of WrestleMania? This was just absolutely ridiculous. And some of you fans were like, oh, well, that was a good thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So you like mid Carters being screwed over? You like seeing mid Carters being screwed over? Loyalists to the company, you like them being screwed over? Because that's what you're supporting. That's what you're supporting. This was ridiculous. This was ridiculous. The man comes out after 3 months and everybody goes down to their knees and worship him and worship. What are you doing? What are you doing? I think what you did to Sami Zayn was absolutely the worst booking decision I have ever had. He only had it for what, 9 days? I mean, this was just absolutely deplorable. And some of you fans are so dumb and ridiculous. It's not even funny. I think this was absolutely a miscarriage of justice, and it was total BS. Sami Zayn doesn't deserve that. He didn't deserve it. And you fans sit up there with your camera phones and you're swinging it around. Look, ball, turn, look, ball, look, it's Sam Ball. Mhm. So what? Mm-mm. So what? And it's just ridiculous. The man busted his ass for the company. And that's the thanks he gets? Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to be a transitional champion to a man who's been out of action for 3 months. And because he had a beef with management, now we're going to coddle him and give him a title. Really? Is this just what we're doing? Hogwash. And let me just say this one thing. And let me say this. For you all to sit there and say, "Oh, well, you wouldn't respect him. You wouldn't respect Sami Zayn as a." How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know what fan respect whom? We can't talk for fans. You can't talk for fans. Everybody's sitting up there talking, well, the fans would never respect Sammy. How do you know that? How do you know that? How in the world do you know that? I cannot speak for wrestling fans. I only can speak for myself. I don't speak for wrestling fans. I don't. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they want. I don't know what makes their motor run. I don't know. I cannot speak for other fans. I only can speak for myself. And I think that this situation, this whole situation, was garbage. It was garbage. Now you have now I know what's going to happen here. Now I know what's going to happen here. Now I know what's going to happen here. Everybody and their mom knows what's going to happen here because you know Sammy's going to complain. You know that. Gunther wants a shot at the title too. And because Rhodes was taken out originally out of the equation, He probably wants a shot at it too. So you know what the WWE's gonna do? Well, there's only one way to fix this. We gotta make this a fatal four-way. So I have a feeling that's exactly what they're going to do here. They're going to give you a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. Yeah, that'll fix everything. That'll smooth everything over with the fans. It's just ridiculous. I'm not happy with this situation. I'm not happy. You know why I'm not happy, folks? Because I've seen this done time and time again with the WWE. Why do you put a title? Listen to me carefully. Why do you put a title on someone that you don't believe in? Oh, because he's in Saudi. We'll give him his moment. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's give Sami Zayn his moment. They will then we'll just pull the rug out from under him when he least expects it. What kind of crap is that? That's not good business practice. You took all his momentum, all of that adulation, and you throw it in the garbage for somebody who has been out of WWE for 3 long months. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Then you take the street profits. Then you take the street profits and then you screw them out of the title. Everybody's like, oh, the vision is dead. The vision is dead. There's no vision. There's no vision. The vision is dead. WWE is getting rid of, they're not getting rid of that vision anytime soon. Week after week, week after week, week after week, we get the vision. Either they're feuding with the Usos or they're feuding with Knight, and Knight is being screwed by the Vision. I mean, it's ridiculous. What am I watching here? What is going on here? This is absolutely ridiculous. What am I? What am I in the Twilight Zone? You can't tell me this is good TV. You can't tell me this is good TV. Because it's not. Week after week, week after week, we see the Vision on TV feuding with the same people over and over and over and over again. Nothing fresh, nothing new with this faction. It's just absolutely garbage, folks. I'm sorry to raise my voice, but I'm sorry. I can't sit idly by and watch something that is so heinous and so ridiculous that I cannot sit back and not say anything. This was ridiculous. All right. Let me go to the chat. Go to the chat. See what everyone's talking about. William says, what is really going on with the WWE now, Earl? I have no idea, William. I have no idea. And I don't think they know what's going on. I don't think WWE knows what's going on anymore, William. I don't think they know what's going on. It's definitely not good TV. No, it's not. Street Profits getting screwed. That pissed me off the most. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This was absolutely one of the worst things. There were two disgusting bookings. That's why I did it. That's why I gave the show a D. I gave the show a D. I gave the show a D for disgusting. I don't think they know either. Or no, they don't. No, they don't, William. No, they don't. No. Oh, OMG, yes. That was beyond dog crap. What they did to the street? Yeah, I can't. Again, zero. This show was definitely a D in my book. Yeah, it was. It was. I gave it a D for disgusting. The show got a D from me, and that is just deserved. The Street Profits didn't even have time to be a tag team champions. They didn't even have time to relish in the victory. No, you want to screw them over for the vision because you want to you want to revive the vision. And then stick this vision down everyone's throat week after week with the same booking, same whack booking. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You take these mid carders and you screw them over. You stomp on them. You stomp on all over their momentum and their adulates. And for what? And for what? So that you can coddle the vision and you can coddle Punk. Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Williams says why WWE is doing the same screw job. It's beyond me. Or I don't get it. I don't get it. And again, like I said, why in the world would you put a belt on somebody that you don't believe in? It makes no sense. Then what you should have done, you should have had Rhodes retain the title at the Night of Champions and then bring back Punk. And by the way, the undisputed title is supposed to be on SmackDown. It's not even supposed to be on Raw. So I don't understand why WWE booked this match in the beginning in the first place. Why? Because you need ratings? You need help with Raw's ratings? SmackDown needs more help than you could ever imagine. Makes absolutely no sense at all. No. And some of you fans, like I said, some of you fans are absolutely ridiculous. You you sit up there and you worship this man, this punk person. Now listen, I I'm not a fan of Punk. I'm not a CM Punk fan. I'm not a super fan like everybody else is. Yes, I think he's good. I listen. I give credit where credit is due, but this was just absolutely no. And you fans sit up there and you goggle him. You show reactions to your on your phone to your internet, and everybody's like millions of people liking it, and they click like because you were reacting to it. Hey, it's just I I don't know. It's just you just don't see it. You can't screw mid card people over for somebody who's been out for 3 months. You can't do that. This man been through the ringer, back and forth, up and down the highway, and you all just mock him. You make fun of him. You people, you're just rude, and you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous swinging your camera around and bulging out your eyes because the man come in the curtain. I mean, that's ridiculous. You look ridiculous. The man will snub you. Listen to me carefully. CM Punk at times can be rude to fans. And you can Google it. You go ahead and Google it. And I'm going to tell you something. The way you all carry on with this man when he came out of the curtain, do you don't think that this man would be rude to you in a line in the airport or on in the street corner? He'd be rude to you. He will turn on you and a dime's notice. Because that's how nasty he can be. And you all sit up there and you goggle over him, you trip yourself up, and you wanna soup him up and you wanna wear him on your head as a headpiece and you wanna wear him around the place. I mean, 'cause you all are ridiculous. You all are ridiculous. Jeffrey, how's it going? Granted, behaved Punk has behaved himself in WWE. Yeah, he has, Jeffrey. But again, like I said, he can be rude. At times, he can be rude. I never been a fan of Punk. Never liked the guy at all. No, I mean, like I said, he could be rude. Um, I read that. You're right, Earl. Screwing Sami Zayn. It's not a good look at all for the WWE. No, it's not, William. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Unfortunately, we have a lot of fair weather wrestling fans in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do, William. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Putting a belt on someone you don't believe in or have faith in makes no freaking sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. That's what I just said. Makes absolutely no sense at all. No. Everyone in the chat, make sure you hit the like button. You can't tell me that this is okay because it's not. And you wrestling fans, you look ridiculous. We can't speak for other fans. We can't sit up there and know that the WWE fans would not respect Sammy as a or be with or be with Sammy as a champion. I wouldn't be told that. I hope you have a great and blessed upcoming weekend, Earl. Thank you very much, William, and you too. All right, folks, that was my raw address. That was my raw address, folks. I will have more on the Sami Zayn story when we do wrestling news. All right, folks. Creative ain't creating. Nope. You are absolutely right, Jeffrey, about that. You are absolutely right, my friend. All right, folks, we are going to rewind. We are going to rewind AEW's Forbidden Door. We're going to go to something really pleasant now and the Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door happened, ladies and gentlemen, last month. Last month, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. June was busting all over with wrestling content. Sunday, the 26th of June. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This event was absolutely great. The Forbidden Door was absolutely great. I enjoyed the Forbidden Door, and I love calling the matches. And I want to thank you all for the views. I want to thank you all for the subs. I want to thank you for the likes and everything else. If you watch the Forbidden Door, or if you missed the Forbidden Door, and you want to watch my reactions to all of the matches that you saw, that I witnessed and I called, then you must go back on my YouTube channel and you could rewind, relive, and replay anytime, any place, anywhere. And don't forget, folks, to hit the like button. It is very important that you hit that like button. I enjoyed the Forbidden Door. Yeah, I did too, Jeffrey. I enjoyed the Forbidden Door. All right, let's just go through the matches. All right. All right, let's just talk about. Let's start off hot. Let's start off hot, folks, with the Forbidden Door. Let's start off hot. All right. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland for the right to go to All in London, England, and the Owen Hart Cup tournament final. This match was the match of the night for me. This match was absolutely a bloody war. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay tore the house down. Notice I used the word down, if you will. They tore the house down, folks. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This match was great. The match was great. Even at the end, when the Death Riders came to the ringside area to Will on, and no pun intended. Will really and truly withstood and withstand everything that Swerve Strickland did to him in this match. They both bloodied each other up. This was absolutely a war for this crown and this trophy. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. The match was breathless. It left me breathless, and I absolutely loved it. I love calling it. It was back and forth. It was like a tennis match. The pendulum could have swung either way, but in the end, when the smoke was cleared, Will Ospreay's hand was raised. He got the belt. He got the number one contendership, and now he's heading to London, England at the end of August. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This is going to be great. This is going to be a great night. What what's even more great is what happened last night, but we're going to talk about that later on in the show when I rewind Dynamite. But this was great. This was absolutely great. And I'm going to give the match a 10 in the entertainment level. The match gets a 10. The match gets a 10. This absolutely was great. And you like that, Jeffrey? You like that? This match was great. The match was absolutely. It was great. I don't know what words to use. This was a classic. This was a barn burner. This was absolutely a crescendo. It was great. This match was great. And like I said on Entertainment Lore, I gave the match a 10. The match gets a 10 for me. That's the best I do. It was just great. I loved it. All right, we had the Starlight Kid versus Tekla for the women's title. This was absolutely this was a good Tekla match. I have to admit this was a good Tekla match. Tekla can wrestle. Tekla can wrestle. The match was fine for what it was. It was good for what it was. She stood in the mask of the Starlight Kid, and then she paraded it around after the match. Tekla retained, and retained she did. But this was a good Tekla match. This was actually good stuff. They both went back and forth. We all knew that the Starlight Kid was not getting the AEW Women's title, but she withstood everything that the Starlight Kid gave to her. She pushed it to a limit. Tekla retained. The match was fine. The match was all right for what it was. Great athleticism, great nuance in the match. I thought this was a good Tekla match. It really was. Um, yeah, great match indeed. Yeah, it was. It was. It was. This was a good Tekla match. This is very good. I'm gonna give it on an entertainment level. I'll give it a 7. The match gets a 7, and that's the best I know. The match gets a 7. So it was good. It was good. Tekla, like I said, retained here at the Forbidden Door. All right. The steel cage match. Team Briscoe versus the Don Callis family. This match again, another banger. This was a circular cage. This was something AEW has never done before. They gave you a circular cage in this match. The Don Callis family and Team Briscoe was locked inside. And what was probably one of the most hard hitting affairs. One spotlight in this match was Darby Allen. Darby Allen had some booby trap bag on top of the cage, and Kevin Knight went to try to open it, and it exploded in his face, and he went right through the table, eliminating him from the match. But in the end, Andrade El Idolo turned babyface in the match, and he helped Team Briscoe win the match. Thanks to Andrade El Idolo, he went rogue on the Don Callis family and turned on them, and he helped Team Briscoe win this match. The match was great. This was absolutely a war. Busted open, yes, there was busted open all over the place. And this was great. The match was fine for what it was. The match was fine. Andrade said, "Screw Don Callis." Yeah, he did. He wore a T-shirt that said "Screw Don Callis." Team Briscoe wins. Yes, this was great. This was a good Tekla match for sure. Yeah, this was a good Tekla match. I agree. So Andrade Idolo wears the Don Callis, screw the Don Callis shirt, takes the shirt off, and he helped Team Briscoe win. So, like I said, the match was fun. It had a great nuance, great chemistry in the match. Everyone played their part well in the match. So I'm gonna give this match on an entertainment level. I'll give the match an 8. The match gets an 8, and that's the best thing. On an entertainment level, the match gets an 8. This was absolutely fantastic match. This was a good match. Mercedes Moné took on Maya World for the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Like I said, this was great. This was another Don Callis team. You know that they wasn't going to get along. No, they weren't. No. There's a lot of dissension in the match. Mercedes Monet took on Maya World for the Owen Hart Cup tournament final. It was all right. The match was all right. Mercedes, again, the CEO, not a fan of hers. When she came out of the curtain, I think all the ratings and the buy rate went down for the Forbidden Door. No, I'm kidding. It didn't. Um, but anyway, Mercedes Moné wins the match. She wins the cup tournament for the second time in a row, and she defeated Maya World. And again, our heart and condolences go out to Maya World for the loss of her brother. I mean, she wrestled with a heavy heart. Maya World did in this match, and I gave her props. I really gave her props. She really and truly pushed Mercedes to her limit, and but in the end, when the smoke was cleared, Mercedes walked out with the tournament cup and the belt again for the second year in a row. So she is the number one contender now, and she will take on Tekla at All in London at the end of August for the women's title. Yeah, it was great seeing Maya wrestle her idol. Yeah, that was her idol, and she wrestled Mercedes Moné, and it was a good match. It was good. So I gave the match an 8. All right. AEW Tag Team Championship. Christian Cage versus the Dogs. And again, this match was great. This match was absolutely great. Um, Very sad for her going out there wrestling with a heavy heart. Yes, Jeffrey. The Dogs. The Dogs took on Christian Cage and Adam Copeland for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Again, this match was great. It was a good tag team match. It was a fun tag team match. Jay White came back and reunited the Bang Bang Gang. The Bang Bang Gang appeared on the ramp. Jay White came in, the lights went out. Jay White was in the middle of the ring. He helped Adam Copeland and Christian Cage retain. Thanks to Jay White, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are still your AEW Tag Team Championship. Referee Stephon Smith was wiped out in the match. At one point of the match, he was wiped out. The lights went out. And when it came back on, Jay White was in the middle of the ring. He helped the Dogs. He helped Christian Cage and Adam Copeland retain the AEW Tag Team Championship. This was good. This was a good match. This was a fun tag team match, and I had fun calling the match. I had fun doing it. I had a lot of fun calling the match. So, on an entertainment level, folks, I'm going to give this match, I'll be nice. I'll give the match a 7. Match gets a 7 in the entertainment level. I thought it was great. This was a fun tag team match. Everybody played their part well in the match. There was some athleticism in the match. I thought that was displayed well in the match. I thought that the chemistry was great. The flow was great. So this was just absolutely great across the board for me. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was fantastic. And so on an entertainment level, I'm going to give the match a 7. All right. Let's see here. For the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Shoto defeated Pac. And Shoto was in the match, and he defeated Pac from the Death Riders. Match was great. Both men had athleticism in the match. We knew he was going to retain, and retain he did. And this was great. This is some good stuff. Good stuff. Pac worked well with Shoto, and I had no problems with it. I had no issues, no qualms about it. I thought the match was fine. They played their part well in the match. Good athleticism on both sides. The sabbat kicks and the back flips and everything else, and the tricks and the flips that were in this match. I thought it was great. Everything went very well in this match. Everything went exponentially great in this match. And it was just great. King, how's it going tonight? Hit that like button, King. And it was brilliant to see Willow Nightingale last night. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, King. I'm going to talk about. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, King. So, congratulations to Tekla. Congratulations to Shoto for retaining the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Congratulations to him. It was a good match. And on entertainment level, I'm going to give the match I'll be nice. I'll give the match a 6. Match gets a 6 in the entertainment level, and that's the best I can do for it. The AEW Continental Championship was up for grabs. Jon Moxley took on Bandito. Well, we all knew that Moxley was going to retain the title. We all knew that Bandito was not winning that Continental. He was not going to win it. And Moxley You know he's vicious. You know what Moxley could do in the ring. And he is a whirling dervish because you don't know what you're going to get. You have no idea what you're going to get from Moxley. So here comes something that was really good. Moxley tried to take the mask. Well, this wasn't really good. This part of the match wasn't good. Moxley tried to rip the mask off Bandito, and that's a disrespect and a very disrespectful thing to do in lucha libre wrestling. But Bandito really held his own in the match. But in the end, when the smoke was cleared, Moxley walked out of San Jose, still your AEW Continental Championship. It's great. Good stuff. Kenny Omega took on Zack Sabre Jr. Another banger. This was a banger. The match was a banger. The match was flawless. Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega went to war, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. This match was great. It left me breathless. Another match that left me breathless. This was great. These men, Kenny Omega doesn't wrestle a sour lemon match at all. He will give you everything that he has and then some. This was great. This was absolutely great. I enjoyed it. I had a good time calling the match. I had fun calling the match. It was fun. It was a fun match. Kenny Omega wins the match, and rightfully so. And this was not the end of Omega's momentum. We're going to talk about that later on. But Omega wins over Zack Sabre Jr. The Young Bucks were in a tag team match versus El Sky Team and Unbound Company. Match was great. Another fun tag team match, folks. Another fun tag team match. Um, the match was fine. The match was all right for what it was, and again, I had no issues with it whatsoever. I didn't. So, based upon what I said, I gave the match. Well, I'm going to be nice. I will give this match. I'll give the match a 5. The match gets a 5. And the Bucks win the match. They defeated the tag team, and it was just great. We had bangers all night. Yes, we did, Jeffrey. We had bangers all night. Every match, ladies and gentlemen, was a banger. Every match that the AEW produced in that Forbidden Door were bangers. There were some matches that I called match of the night. There were some matches on the card, folks, that were match of the year worthy. I mean, these were absolutely great matches. Tony Khan really hit a home run with this pay per view. This was absolutely great. This was great. This was another great pay per view offering from AEW. Now we're going to get redemption at the end of July in Toronto, in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Center. Can't say anything more about AEW, folks. So, folks, that was the Forbidden Door. That was the Forbidden Door. We hope that I had a fun time calling the matches. As I said, if you miss the Forbidden Door, all you have to do, folks, is go back on my YouTube channel, and you could rewind, replay, and relive and watch my reaction to all of the matches that I did this past week, last week. And so that, folks, was the Forbidden Door. Now, let's get to WWE's Let's get to the Night of Champions results. All right, Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Io Sky took on Liv Morgan for the Queen's Crown. This was another. The match was fine. The match was fine for what it was. I was it the greatest thing ever? No, but it was good. Io Sky can wrestle. Io Sky can wrestle, folks. There's nothing wrong with Io Sky. She matched very well with Liv. They went to toe for the women for the Queen's Crown, but in the end, Io Sky wins the match and she wins it handily. And then she said to Liv Morgan, "I will see you at SummerSlam," which means that Io Sky will take on Liv Morgan for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. So congratulations to Io Sky on winning the Queen's Crown at the Night of Champions. And on an entertainment level, I'm going to give this match a 6. The match gets a 6. This is good stuff. Femi defeated Jay Uso in 7 minutes and 56 seconds to win the King of the Ring tournament. Femi's shoulder breaker was the best spot in the match. The match gets a grade. Yahoo Sports gave it a grade B. I'll give it an entertainment level in a minute. Femi and Jay Uso for the crown. Again, like I said, WWE put the crown on Femi, but unfortunately, Femi had other plans with Brock Lesnar. Lesnar and Femi will have their final chapter inside Hell in the Cell, and that will happen at SummerSlam. We will have Hell in the Cell at SummerSlam, and it will house Femi and Brock Lesnar. All hail King Femi. Yep, that's right. So Femi wins the crown. He wins the crown and he just marches on. But now he has to dance with Brock Lesnar in Hell in the Cell. Okay. Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. And Trick Williams retains his title at the Night of Champions over Ricky Saints. I knew this was going to happen. Trick Williams was not going to cough up the United States Championship. This was a good match. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't terrible. It was all right. It was decent for what it was. I'm not going to jump up and down about it. Do I want to see it again? No. But it was all right for what it was. This was a fun little match, and of course Trick Williams with the trick shot wins the match, and he still remains your United States Championship. So on an entertainment level, I'm gonna give it a 6. I'll be nice. I'll give it a 6. Match gets a 6. It was good athleticism, good stuff. Everybody played their part well in the match, and this is great. This match was boring. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. The match was boring. The match was boring, folks. Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, yes, they have chemistry in the ring. I would agree with that. But overall, the match was boring. It just didn't do it for me. And then B-Fab and Meechin interfering in the match. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was so much shenanigans in this match. It was absolutely ridiculous. But in the end, Tiffany Stratton remains your Women's United States Championship, and she retains the title. There was nothing really to write home about. Match wasn't good. Wasn't good. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the match. On an entertainment level, I give the match a 2. The match gets a 2. And that's the best I can do for it. It gets a 2. I I'm sorry, folks, but this was just no bueno for me. This was just not. There was no. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. All right, folks. This is this is a lot to deal with here. All right, folks. We're up to the main event of the Night of Champions. All right. It's Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE champion. And then we're going to talk about Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins in a cage. Oh, yeah, we have that match as well. All right. Let's just talk about Braun. We'll go back. We'll go back, folks. But let's just talk about this. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins was in a steel cage. The match was fine. The match was great. And there was no vision interference in this match, which some of the matches ended clean, which I was very shocked at. The match for me was an 8 in this match. The entertainment level, the match was an 8. This was an incredible closing chapter for Rollins and Breaker rivalry. They had great action, violent storyline, and it was all on display here. Rollins finished the match with a big stomp to end the feud, to put an exclamation point on the feud. And this was great. Rollins closed the chapter on him and Breaker, and this was great. The match was great. The match was fine for what it was. I liked the match itself. I thought it was hard hitting. It was woolly, wild, and all over the place. I mean, this was great. This was absolutely great. This was a banger in this cage. I'll say that word. I'll use that word in this cage match. The cage match was a banger for me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was highly entertaining. And Rollins really and truly held his own ground, and he really and truly wanted to put away Braun Breaker, and he did. So on the entertainment level, I'm going to give the match an 8. Match gets an 8 for me. All right, folks. Now we're going to go to the main event. Braun was busted open. Yes, he was. Now, folks, we're going to do the main event of the Night of Champions. And you know something, folks? Again, there's a saying that goes, everyone's in on the joke except for you. And that's what it felt like for Sami Zayn. And my heart broke for Sami Zayn this Monday. My heart broke because this match was good. This triple threat match was good. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Gunther put on a show. And Sami Zayn just wouldn't quit. The guy wouldn't quit in the match. He went through a table. He did everything. Sami Zayn put his heart, his soul into this match, and you could clearly see that he did. And you could clearly see that he wanted that golden moment. And the WWE took that moment and just trashed it and stepped all over it. And it's a damn shame that that had to happen to him. It is a dang shame. Sami Zayn wins the belt in front of his people, in front of the Saudi people, and for what? For what? For what? He only had it a couple of days. I mean, it just, it just makes me ill. This whole situation makes me ill. I wasn't. I'm. Let me tell you something, folks. I have been a wrestling fan for 3 decades now, and I am a realist. I keep it real, folks. That's what I do. I don't sugarcoat anything here. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I didn't like this. I didn't like this at all. It sickens me. It sickens me to know that you take a mid-carder like Sami Zayn and put a title on him, and then you turn around and says, "Well, I think he's going to be a transitional champion." Yeah, well, we haven't seen Mr. Punk in 3 months, and well, why don't I give him a call and see what he's doing, and we'll insert him in this match that's supposed to be on SmackDown. It's not right. It's not right, folks. Match was great. Triple threat match was great. Entertainment level, I'll give the match an 8. Match gets an 8 for me. I'd have given it more if Sami Zayn had a long reign to title reign, but he didn't. So, all right, folks, that was the night of champions. Good show overall. All right, so my letter grade, folks, my letter grade for both pay-per-views. For the Forbidden Door, I gave the show an A. The show gets an A for me. The Night of Champions, because of what happened to Sami Zayn, I have to give it a B minus. I gave the show a B minus. That's the best I can do for both shows. All right. Why don't we do Dynamite? Why don't we do? Well, first of all, let's. I had an idea, folks. Let's do some wrestling news. How about that? How about that? All right. Jonathan Coachman made his opinion about the Sami Zayn situation. And he says, and I quote, Jonathan Coachman goes off on Triple H for screwing Sami Zayn out of the WWE Championship in just 9 days. I never talk about guys from a personal level. I talk about them from character level. the character Sami Zayn, no, I don't think he should have been champion. Well, I disagree with Jonathan Coachman there. But on a human level, because I've been around so many guys, I've been in the WWE for over a decade, and there are real human beings, real people who show up every single day saying, "Man, do I have what it takes? Do they believe in me as a champion?" Well, yes. And the thing is that I think we would have believed in Sami Zayn as a champion, and most of you out there was talking about, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't resist. How do you know that? You can't talk for fans. You can't speak for fans. You don't know what the average fan would do if he had a lengthy title reign. How do we not know that? That's what burns my bridges with some of these people that are bloggers and podcasters. You think you know the fans, but you don't. You can't speak for the fans. You only could speak for yourself. You should never, ever, ever step into the shoes of a wrestling fan because you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what's on their mind. I only could speak for myself as a wrestling fan and what I like and what I don't like, and I make an opinion of it. And I'm part of the community, and I respect wrestling. I respect the talent. I respect the level of hard work it takes to put on a show. I respect all of it. But when it comes down to it, folks, and the booking is not correct, I will speak on it because I have that platform. But on a human level, oh, I already read that. Now you believe in somebody by making them champion, by giving them a push, by saying, yes, we believe in you to be the guy who's going to carry the company for a certain period of time. Okay. So how excited do you think Sami Zayn was when he walked in 3 weeks ago and said, there's a plan. You're going to be the undisputed champion for the first time in your career. Congratulations. Triple H didn't even did the finger point of doom right after he won. He did look. Did he look excited? No, because Triple H knew that they were already going to do it. And I feel bad for Sami Zayn. I feel bad for everyone who got even. Yeah, that's how that's what I said. I said, I said that when you look at that viral video and you saw the look on Triple H's face, he didn't even want to take the picture with Sami Zayn. He didn't want to do that stupid finger pointing thing he always does with the picture. He didn't want to do it. And you all sit there and you just sit there and you're swinging your camera phones around and you're carrying on, your eyes bugging out your head for a man who is rude as hell to fans. And it's just not a politically correct thing to do. It's just not. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to a wrestling fan to carry on like that. Man doesn't know you from a can of paint. And don't think he wouldn't snub you either. Don't think he would not snub you. Because he will. And as I said in the beginning of the stream, why in the world would you put on a belt on somebody that you don't believe in or you don't think is marketable? Why would you put a champion on somebody like that? You should have had Rhodes retain. You should have had Rose retain right then and there. And then if you wanted to bring Punk back for a swing at the title, have him earn it. I mean, but you all just do ass backwards. You stepped all over Sami Zayn's momentum. You took his excitement. You took his momentum and you snuffed it out. You smothered it like a giant pillow. And for that, WWE, you should be ashamed of yourselves and your fans. Again, we have this report about how Sami Zayn's title reign was not built to last. Well, we all knew that. Maxine Dupree's on-screen kiss with Austin Theory got fans talking on Raw, but one person who doesn't seem bothered by it is her husband. After Maxine helped Austin Theory and Braun Breaker regain the tag team titles, Angelo Dawkins, before celebrating with a kiss, plenty of fans flooded social media with reaction. Some even dragged her real life husband Cam Hendricks into the conversation. Cam saw it and he had little fun with it on Twitter. Instead of getting defensive, or addressing the criticism head on, Cam laughed it off and made it clear he wasn't losing any sleep over his wife on screen storyline. Damn, didn't realize how many PPL were jealous of Cam Hendricks feeling kind of good, actually. Yeah, I mean, this was part of a storyline. She wanted to help the Vision regain the tag team belt, so they made her turn heel. They made her turn heel, and she made him join the Vision. And now she screwed over Takira Tozawa. Now she's gonna have to dump Takira Tozawa, and of course Otis. So there's no more Maxine Dupree and Otis and Takira Tozawa. That relationship is over with. She's now with the Vision, and screw the Street Profits and their title reign. WWE stomped on their momentum as well. They didn't care about anything. So it's just it just goes to show you folks where people's thought process is when it comes to um complaining, I mean booking and doing storylines. Hmm? All right. Um Uh, WrestlingNews.com says Sami Zayn waited 13 years to finally become a WWE champion, and the fans are furious that WWE let him hold it for only 9 days. CM Punk beat Sami Zayn for the Undisputed Championship. We all know that on Raw. Punk, a massive hometown uh, in Rosemont, giving Punk a massive hometown moment. But online, a lot of fans weren't celebrating. They were asking why Sami Zayn's long-awaited title win at the Night of Champions was cut so short so quickly. One fan took to Twitter and summed up the frustration pretty clear. Sami Zayn worked 13 years for a 9-day title reign. You all should be ashamed. Another fan didn't bother dressing it up. He says 9 days, blank, you all. One fan questioned the entire point of putting the title on, saying if WWE wasn't going to was going to take it away, what's the point? Gotta pop Sami Zayn to be champion on the week. Crazy. Yeah, I mean that's some of the reaction to some of the fans. Nobody is you can't celebrate this. You can't sit there and condone this kind of booking because this was absolutely a miscarriage of justice. This was gross. Sami Zayn, you took his momentum. The man has been busting his ass and been a loyalist, and you just take it and you take the trash. You take his momentum and you trashed it. I mean, that sucks. That just blows. Sami Zayn didn't deserve this. And I feel totally horrible as a wrestling fan. I feel totally bad. And I disagree with everyone. And there are some people that say, well, he shouldn't have been. Yes, he should be. What do you want to keep him down to the basement forever and make him not a champion at all? Don't put a belt on him at all. So what good is he then? You can't make this stuff up, folks, even if you tried. And you fans sit up there and you sit up there and you like I said in the beginning of the stream, you're taking selfies, you're swinging the camera around, and you're laughing and you're hooting and hollering and all this kind of stuff. And you're bulging out your eyes because you just the man has been out of wrestling for 3 months, and it seems like he was out there. He hasn't been around for years. I mean, you guys are ridiculous, and he's gonna be rude to you anyway. When you go online and he doesn't want to be bothered with you, he's gonna snub you. Because that's how Punk is. He's all about himself. The report states that his contract has expired and that he turned down an extension. He was not released. Per Fightful Select, WWE approached Sheamus about restructuring a deal while he was out with an injury, and he quickly rejected it. With the contract already set to expire within the month, there's no reason for release, and its 90-day non-compete clause. His WWE departure is described as happening soon. Sheamus spent almost 19 years in WWE after signing in 2007, and he became the first Irish-born WWE champion in 2009, won 4 championships, and captured the 2010 King of the Ring, the 2012 Royal Rumble, and the 2015 Money in the Bank contract. Neither Sheamus nor WWE had a comment. So if you all don't know, you know by now. Sheamus is leaving WWE. Sheamus is leaving WWE, and he is done with the company. He is finished with the company, and we wish Sheamus all the best. He's been out since in WWE with an injury, and like I said, I don't think they would have anything creative for him anyway. Sheamus turned down an extension on his contract. They wanted to restructure his contract, and he immediately said, no, I'm done. And I don't blame Sheamus. I don't blame Sheamus for jumping ship and getting on that parachute on his back and getting off of WWE. So we wish Sheamus good luck. We don't know where he's going to land, what he's going to do, but we wish him well in all his future endeavors. Good luck, Sheamus. And thank you for the memories, and thank you for all that fight night and the noise and everything else and everything that you brought to the ring because I've seen Sheamus wrestle live a bunch of times, and he is absolutely he's great in the ring. He's highly entertaining, and he's good. He's really good, and he has a lot of accolades. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of things in his repertoire, and he has a great wrestling resume. So congratulations to Sheamus on that, and good luck on his future endeavors, folks. That was the wrestling news. That was your wrestling news for tonight, and a lot of good stuff in the airport. Not so good stuff in the airport, but some good, some bad. All right, folks, we're going to do one more thing before we get out of here, and that is AEW Dynamite. All right, last night AEW came to you from the Bay Care Sound in Clearwater, Florida. Clearly, everyone had a good time. It was a packed venue, and you all on Twitter and all this other media outlets on that AEW couldn't sell out. Yes, they did. This was sitting on the lawn. This was sitting inside the venue. It was an outdoor venue. This is the first time that AEW Dynamite was ever broadcast outside, and this was a great scene. This was a great scene. This was a great venue. Uh, Hats off to Tony Khan finding these unique venues to hold Dynamite and Collision. He scouts all of the 50 United States to hold these events, and I give him kudos on it. It's just great. All these music halls and everything that he does to get these smaller venues and pack them in, and you can't blame Tony Khan for doing what he needs to do to survive in this wrestling world. And I'm not gonna knock him. I'm not gonna knock him. I think what he's doing is great. I think he knows now that you can't do big venues anymore like you used to do in back in the days where people used to come out. Now you got to do it a little smaller. And hey, listen, small is good. They will come. They will pack it in. You'll get that crowd. Look at the Hammerstein Ballroom. For 3 years in a row, he has sold out both nights that he has done Collision and Dynamite, and you can't blame Tony Khan. So you fans that are WWE thrills or chills or whatever they want to call them, you need to sit back and know who's driving the bus. Um, so we had Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa. This was a great match. Jericho was busted open. In the end, Tommaso Ciampa took some of the sand and threw it in the face of Jericho, blinding Jericho. And Tommaso Ciampa wins the match over Jericho. And the match was fine for what it was. It was a great start to the kickoff Dynamite. I thought the match was fine. The match was fine, but it was great for what it was. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. Everybody played their part well in the match. I thought it was great. So congratulations to Tommaso Ciampa winning over um, Chris Jericho in our opening contest on Dynamite. Um, Will Ospreay was being interviewed by Renee Paquette when all of a sudden MJF interrupts. There's a brawl backstage, and that led up to, well, I'm going to tell you what it led up to. MJF spitting in the face of Ospreay. Ospreay wanted a piece of MJF. MJF wanted a piece of Ospreay. This was absolutely not the end of Will Ospreay, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. In the international championship, Takeshita took on Kyle Fletcher. Another match that was great. Both men were really battling it out for this title, and it was great. Great chemistry, great nuance in the match. I did not expect this at all. Takeshita losing the title to um to Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher is the new international champion, and he brought it back to the Don Callis family. Don Callis family rolled backstage with Andrade El Idolo and Darby Allen. Allen again with his trickery and his booby trap bag. And this was something else. Brian Cage got the worst of it, got it exploded right in his face. So, and then Callis made it clear to Andrade he could challenge the returning Mark Davis, but only if he beats Jake Doyle next week on Dynamite. Foley came out. We had Mick Foley coming out, and he had an interview with the Don Callis family. So that happened. Will Ospreay and John Moxley took on the Workhorsemen. Again, this was another. This was a this. They work well together. I have to admit, Moxley and Will Ospreay work well as a tag team. He gave him the hidden blade, and of course the Impaler DDT, and they win the match. So I have no issues with this match whatsoever. On an entertainment level, I give the match a 7. I thought the match was a hard hitting affair. Moxley is always a whirling dervish. You don't know what you're getting from Moxley. So this was absolutely great stuff. Um, like I said, the match gets an 8 for me. It was good. It was a good tag team match. And the Jericho and Ciampa match, I gave that a 7 in an entertainment level. All right. Casino Gauntlet match. Athena was in the match with Maya World. But what really happened, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to fast forward it. Willow Nightingale came in and she returned from injury after she forfeited and had to relinquish the AEW TBS championship. She came back in the gauntlet match and she won. So at Redemption, we're going to have Willow Nightingale taking on Tekla. Tekla and Willow Nightingale will mix it up at Redemption. All right. And on the entertainment level, I gave the gauntlet match. I'll give it a 7. I'll be nice. I'll give it a 7. The women's gauntlet match, I thought that was great. It was good stuff for what it was. All right. Let's talk about the Dynamite main event. The world title was up for grabs. It was Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega taking on MJF. Dro, how's it going tonight? Jericho did an awesome job in the match. He did, Dro. I agree, Dro. I agree. That truly. That is true, Jeffrey. He was busted open. Yep, King, he certainly was. Ron was busted. Yep. Thank you for your comment, Dro. And Drew did an awesome job. Yeah, he did an awesome job in the match. Dro, hit the like button. Thank you, Dro, for your comment. Everyone in the chat, hit that like button. Thank you all so much for watching Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, and thank you so much for watching tonight's telecast. And please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. It's so important that you do. Okay, folks. We're up to the main event of Dynamite. Kenny Omega take on MJF for the world title. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This match was great. Again, if we had a title change on Monday night, we needed a title change on AEW, and that's the way they operate. Tony Khan and Triple H have to one up each other in the title change department. So Omega and MJF really and truly brought it. And in the end, Will Ospreay took the Diamond ring away from MJF. He ran down to the ramp and he took the ring right off his finger because MJF was about to use it on Omega. Omega was about to waffle MJF with the belt, but then he had second thoughts. And then right in the beans and the franks went MJF to Kenny Omega. He went to use the belt on Omega, and he did, but Omega just got out of it. He got out of it, and he gave him high knees after high knees. And after that, he rocked MJF's world and picked up MJF for the one-winged angel. And we have a brand new world champion in Kenny Omega. So now, at All in London, it will be Will Ospreay going after Kenny Omega for that coveted title. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. That's going to be a banger. That match is going to be a banger. That match in Wembley Stadium is going to be a banger. And I am here for it. I am here for it. Flo says MJF is now a former champion. He sure is, bro. He sure is. And I mean, this was absolutely this was great. Kenny Omega's back was against the wall. Remember, if Kenny Omega lost this match, he could never, ever, ever get another title opportunity again. But that did not happen. Kenny Omega, when the smoke was cleared, was your new champion. Now, I know some of you said that Ospreay should have minded his business and stayed in the back and not interfere in the match. But remember what he did. You remember what MJF did to Ospreay earlier in the night? He spat in his face. He spat in his face and he wanted to challenge Ospreay in the parking lot. So Ospreay is not going to stand there and take that line down. I knew he was going to interfere in the match after that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew in my heart, I knew it in my soul, and I knew it in my mind. Oh, he is going to interfere in this match. He is not going to sit by and allow that transaction to happen without some repercussions. And he did. He ran down the ring. Now, he didn't get in the ring and interfere in the match. He just took the ring off his finger because he was going to use the ring. You knew he was going to use it, and Ospreay knew it too, and that's why he sprinted down to the ring and took the ring. Dro says I dropped the thumbs up. Thank you very much, bro. So that was good. And It was a good match. On an entertainment level, I'm going to give the match an 8. The match gets an 8. And congratulations to Kenny Omega for winning the world's title at Dynamite last night. Good stuff from Kenny Omega. Well deserved. I think Omega deserves to be a champion. He hasn't been a champion in a vastly long time. So this is good for Omega. I think this is going to be great. Will Ospreay and Omega at all in London. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a banger. I think the two of them are going to tear the house down. I know this is going to be a good stuff. And if you all didn't hear the announcement, Tony Khan made it official. All Out will happen on Saturday night, September the 26th, at the Now Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. That is Saturday night, September the 26th. We will have All Out in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, and the Now Arena. It's gonna be great. That's major announcement from Tony Khan about All Out. So, folks, that is going to do it for the wrestling experience. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. I want to thank you all for watching, and thank you all for listening, and thank you for all the likes, all the subs, all of that you do, and everything else. Earl, how did you like the cameraman and the announcers in summer clothes? I thought that was really cool, Jeffrey. I didn't have a problem with it. Justin Roberts dressing the part and the cameraman and the people dressing the part. I didn't have a problem with it. It was a beach scene, and that's what they went with. It felt like battle. What was that WCW show? That pay per view Bash at the Beach, I think it was called. WCW had this pay per view called Bash at the Beach. That's what it felt like last night. It had that Bash at the Beach vibe to it, that last night's Dynamite. I thought it was really cool. I thought the venue was cool. I thought that the crowd was cool. I thought that the whole scene, the atmosphere was cool. I had no problem with Dynamite last night. I had zero issues with it. I thought the theme was great. They had beach chairs. They had everything going. This was great. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Wait until SummerSlam. You're gonna see them doing the same thing. I don't think so, I don't think so, Jeffrey. I don't think they're gonna be doing that. WWE, yeah, they're good in creating things. Their tech department and everything, and their stage hands and everything. They're good at what they do. WWE production is good at what they do, but I don't think that they're gonna go for that. I don't think they'll be doing no beach theme with SummerSlam this year. They'll be just doing some plain video boards and that's it, and stage and ramp. That's it. Nothing spectacular with the stage. Um, so only the refs wasn't in the refs didn't dress the part. They dressed regular on the regular clothes, which is fine. Which is fine. The officials are the officials, and they make up their mind on what they want to do. So, folks, that's going to do it for the wrestling experience. I want to again thank you all for watching tonight. Thank you for all the likes, the subs, and everything else in between. I want to wish everyone a very happy weekend. And be safe out there and enjoy your weekend. It's going to get hot again, so please drink plenty of fluid, water, keep yourself cool and dehydrated, and everything else. DN, what's DN? DN, appreciate you. Thank you, Jeffrey. So, folks, you be safe too. Well, thank you very much, Jeffrey. I appreciate you. Be safe too. So, folks, that is going to do it for the wrestling experience. I want to thank you all for watching tonight's telecast. It's been fun. Until next time, folks, in cyberspace, I'm Earl Cole. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And later to draw. Okay. Later, Dro. Later, Jeffrey. Later, everyone. Thank you for your chats. William, thank you for your chats and everything else. And until next time, folks in cyberspace, I'm Earl Cole. Thank you for watching tonight's wrestling experience. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening, and I'll catch you when I. Later, Dro. Good night, folks.